Hi, folks. This is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant, coming at you today with another quick tip on how to improve your caricature performance. I'm really excited about this, folks. I want to teach you today how to exponentially accelerate your caricature performance. I was working on a project recently for a caricature poster, and I got kind of tired. And as I often do, I went on the internet just kind of looking for something to distract myself, and I found some clips of The Dark Knight, and then I came across this name called Hans Zimmer. Now, that might not mean anything to you, but Hans Zimmer is actually the composer who did the background music for all of the Batman Dark Knight films, okay? He also worked with Elton John on the background music for The Lion King, which you're familiar with, and also Sherlock Holmes movie have something to do with shadows in it, and a host of other films. So he's this award-winning composer, and he was being interviewed on YouTube where he was talking about how he learned, what the best way to learn was, and so I was really interested in that. And he starts out by saying something startling. He says, "I was never good in school. Basically, I sucked in school. He said, I never went to the university. I just wasn't good at it. But what did happen to him was that he got a job as a gopher. The gopher? The gopher is the guy who brings coffee, to the big bosses. And a good cup of coffee it is, but I digress. So he's the guy who brought coffee to his bosses, and he learned more in his craft, just by bringing his bosses coffee than he could have learned with a university education. And the reason he said so was this. He said just being in the room with these guys, and he allowed him to be in the room, he had some of his favorite composers, artists, filmmakers. He would hear them at these different meetings in these venues, problem solving, how to put a score together, how to get emotion in a piece of music, all these technical things that I don't understand because I'm not a musician. But he said just being in that environment rubbed off on him. And he said that is the absolutely best way to learn, because sometimes when you are in a university setting, all you learn is dead truth, meaning you read about what happened, and very rarely do you find out how a person does something. Now, how does this relate to caricature? Well, I want to give you an example. This is a picture of what I was doing before I went to an organization called the NCN, the National Caricaturist Network, also known as the ISCA. This was both folks, I was making money doing this. I was making great money doing this, but this was the best that I could do. And I was told after being in this organization, going to their seminars, for a week, that my skill level would improve exponentially. And to be honest, I didn't believe them. Well, shortly after attending the NCN, my skill level went from that to that. Even colored it in, and to that. And I really want this to be burned into your brain. I went from this, and this is the best that I could do. Nothing wrong if it was recognizable as an actual person that I drew, and I thought this is as good as I could get. I went from that to that. Why was that? I'd have to say, I'm going on record saying that it was because of my association with being in this group. Now, this is not a commercial for the NCN or the ISCA, although I'm talking about them. If you want to improve your skill as a caricature artist, as a cartoonist, what you have to do, and only you know how to do this, Get yourself in an environment where there are a group of like-minded individuals, hopefully, definitely I'd say with more talent than you currently have, and just be around them. Do the drawing. Look at what they're doing. Participate in conversations. Pick their brain and soak up all of that information. It's that type of organic, live learning that will just exponentially improve your skill. I don't care if you get a couple of guys together, if you host your own kind of artist meetup, whatever, but do it often, and that will definitely improve your skill tremendously. I know it improved mine, and you just saw the proof. This is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant.